Hey there, this is Seth, and for today I'm going to talk about some of the Christmas movies I've seen. First one I'm going to talk about is Elf, which is about a man who was raised by elves. When he finds out that he is human, he goes into New York and tries to find his real father. And he struggles with blending in with everybody. For one thing, he's really naive, which makes him believe everything he sees, like the world's best cup of coffee. And it makes him look stupid. And that makes his father not like him as much. Partially because he sort of cares for himself only. And one thing though, it was a pretty good movie. I liked how it all ended in the end, of how he ended up saving Christmas. Another movie I've seen is CLAUS, which is about Santa's younger brother, Fred, who lives under the shadow of his older brother and often causes trouble. He also comes over to the North Pole at a pretty bad time, because that's when the inspector comes, and threatens to close him down if he finds 3 things wrong. And of course, that sort of causes some mayhem, and Santa feels a bit panicky about his brother being there. But Fred redeems himself and saves Christmas. One of my favorite Christmas movies would have to be Home Alone. It's about a kid who gets mistreated by his family, and he sleeps in so they forget him on their Christmas vacation, so he ends up home alone. And he finds out that these 2 crooks are causing trouble on Christmas Eve, so he sets traps to outsmart them. I had a lot of LOLing throughout this movie. My favorite part would have to be when he was ordering his pizza. The pizza delivery guy comes to the door, and he replays this tape of this violent movie he probably got, and it's pretty funny how the pizza guy reacted to the bullet shots. He was like running his ass off. Home Alone 2 was okay, but it was too similar to the first one. The family was running late when they were departing for their Christmas vacation. It was the same bandits. The kid commits a crime, and he runs into someone that he didn't really like in the beginning but started to get along with. It was sort of the same in the first one. There was a lot of similarities, which sort of made the film a bit boring. Another favorite would have to be the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Of course, it is about the Grinch, who hates Christmas, and so he decides to steal everyone's presents and goodies, thinking they are the true reason of Christmas. But then when he realizes the real reason Christmas exists, his heart expands, and he realizes he's done wrong, and gives the presents back to everyone. The Jim Carrey version was more in-depth than the animated version. It took you in the shoes of Cindy Lou Who was a Who herself, who wanted to learn more about this Grinch. And if you read in between the lines, you'll find out the Grinch was treated as a blasphemy when he was younger, especially from the mayor, which really makes a reason why the Grinch hates the Who's and Christmas. Then there's the Santa Claus, which is about Scott Calvin, who ends up becoming Santa Claus himself. He starts getting in denial, but once he sees the changes, like the white hair, the beard, and the weight gaining, people treat him as a blasphemy for some reason, thinking that he believes he's Santa Claus, or something like that. But then he ends up getting respect in the end. I haven't seen number 2, which is basically where Santa Claus gets a Mrs. Claus, but I have seen the Escape Clause, which is number 3 in the series. Basically, Jack Frost is trying to take the place of Santa Claus. So he tries to cause mayhem in Santa's workshop. Also, Mrs. Claus's parents are over, and Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus don't want them to know that they are actually at the North Pole. so they say they're in Canada. Ah, you gotta love them Canadian jokes. LOL. Anyways, you also get introduced to a whole bunch of other characters, such as Father Time, Mother Nature, the Sandman, and Cupid. There's also Frosty the Snowman, which is about Frosty and his children friends, and a magician that tries to get his hat back. And I also like Frosty Returns, which is about this whole conspiracy against Winter. I don't know why, but this one guy tries to destroy Winter, in particularly Snow, and Frosty and his one good friend try to stick up and save Winter. It's kind of ironic that I'm talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation in this video, because I'm actually going to be watching this in social class pretty soon. Basically, it's about a family that goes on Christmas vacation and almost everything goes wrong. And who could forget
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
Raffle. I love hinting. Anyways, the movie is about Rudolph, who has a red nose, and therefore everyone treats him as a blasphemy. It is also about an elf who wants to become a dentist, and everyone treats him as a blasphemy. They end up going to the land of misfit toys, who are pretty much deviations of toys. They also run into a miner and an abominable snowman, and come back finally getting respect from their family and peers. So that's pretty much all I have to say. See you later.